Ủa, Phụng ơi, hình như Trường chưa vô phải không?
Chị Kim spotlight thầy giùm em đi chị.
Nghĩa is in. Nghĩa Nguyễn.
Hình như lúc nãy tại em vào phòng tiếng Việt hay sao ấy, nên là em nói các chị không nghe thấy thôi. Trang ơi, chị có phân vân.
Hello, KHENCHEN La, Kempola. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the wonderful teaching today again. Let's start the teaching with the My Mandala offering.
Giờ em hoàn toàn giải thoát khỏi những ràng buộc của chân và huyễn, siêu vượt danh tử và các tướng của sinh, diệt và trụ siêu vượt đến và đi, lấy và bỏ. Đà la tối thượng chính là cảnh giới không nguyên sơ. Chúng con xin dâng cúng tất cả, qua đó chúng con được cơ hội để đạt đến cảnh giới Phật. Completely liberated from the boundary and unclean, transcending the name and attribute of arising, sensation and abiding, coming, going, occupation and denial. The Supreme Mandala is a future state of offering it. May we be blessed to attain the state of Buddha. On Guru Deva Dipani Ratna, participate with me.
Sanjin Chudan Chojin Chonam La Chanchu Padu Dane Jibsun Ji Dagi Jinsu Jibi Chonam Dola Benchir Sanjin Dumbu Ju Sanji Chudan Chojin Chonam La Chanchu Padu Dane Jibsun Dagi Jinsu Jibi Chonam Ji
Until awakening, I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings.
Nam ka dan nyambe samjen tamjen dewa dan dewe judan dembran churu je dunga dan dunga je judan drewaran churu dunga mebe dewa dan mandrewa churu je niran chadan nidan char Danyamla nebra churunje ma namga dang nyambe samje tamje dewa dang dewe jut dembra churunje donghe dang donghe je judang trebra churunje donghe mebe dewa dang menjurwara churus Nyeren chada nyedan charve danyamla nebra churunje.
May all mother sentient beings, boundless is the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness which is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion.
Chanze wadan chujen shabadan jizu yeran gujen surwa ye gewa chungse dagi jesab damje zobe chanchu chembur.
Whatever slight virtues are accumulated through prostration, offering, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and requesting, I dedicate it all for the sake of complete enlightenment.
Sashi buju chuje medo dang rira lingje nide jembande sanje shindu mede purvai droga namda shindu jebar sho gozo yonzo lame tsonam lai chena sansum dejin nijin Dalu lonjo nangsi yongshi la lamen choge nguru zadu su Ome guru devan drai gene rena mendal Barde zaye suwa.
The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As the Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha hill. To the lamas who possess the three kayas, I offer the outer, inner, and secret offerings. With my body, wealth, and all that is visible, please grant me the supreme realization, enlightenment.
Simje namje samba thang loye cheda chedrawa chechung timo teba ye chuje kolo gordo so.
Please turn the wheel of Dharma, of the greater and lesser vehicles, and the teachings common to both according to the disposition and mental capacity of sentient beings.
Gongchig kurve jansan jezoran shankara gawala dobran zebe gajurim bose jeba nambran tabe jinjin chenlab je chujun jazu chenpe yandra se meshi Molam jache wa yunru wa lunje trube duje trama mebe lama thamba nungla chan tarjen chudo jebzon chewa chenche labran zedo so dojin chaman delo naro thang marme thaba parin jitenku Garden sumden zawe lama shawa zaju lama yedam chu song la surwan de so da ju shin je lo chen zeng ga da dam ba do sam je kandur mong ba den lam ra shara tu je rang shin tarwe lam dam shin je nam la ge chan zara la da la me mam je bo dan jar jin la zo chu je cho la jawa je ba nam san je so ra rob da shi jen de we ju ju Dedan cheje tambe chunyen baryan sheki namkada nyambe samche tamjeje tundu tobje lana mebre yang tabra zobe sanjeje kumpa damba chine jang tobra cha di chedu sonrob namra tabala tsurjindo jubur jivu nyambe samba chanchun chodu lebra sadamde sembra shu telamde kanji sembra shewe chune oda tambe chu gongpa jive yung o tini da shubra shewe kaptende chi yimbare
First, generate the mind, the heart of the bodhicitta, in order to benefit all other sentient beings. The sentient beings like that of the infinite as this space like try to generate the heart of the bodhicitta, and in order to listen for the teachings of the GONGCHIG. So now we on the topic, we're here now listening for the GONGCHIG, and with the kind motivation, please listen carefully. That's all.
다 공지 기종 데 tene tiba chechung dodan 다 용수 조게 tene nenga 닝보 상마 surndor döne tene 송제베 다 용트레지 임바 레 대인도 전에 tene 공지 세안데가 지당 좀된 점지 용도와 대천된 점지 대인도 전에 텐데게 대천 등부 차상데 surndor 도와이나 자제 전부 나댕이 나한테 차상하지 눈으로 같은데 지레 대인도 전에 공지기 냠는데 자제 전부 나댕 써야 되는데 차용요레스.
So when we talk about the GONGCHIG, GONGCHIG is a kind of the text, the teaching, which comprises all the teachings of the greater vehicle, the lesser vehicle, and so forth. And importantly, here it is contained in the 7 units. It has the 7 units of Vajra verses. And also, if it is further condensed, then it's condensed into the 5-fold path of Mahamudra. That's all.
tene chu da chaja chimbo ngaden soyong zane jidang ngado tene ngaden la ndugong ngaden sene da ji meng tene ji namju da yorwa mune sene ndong jibu mare ga ju yongzo gi ne nyamlen churun dor de ba yin tene chaja chimbo ngaden se ya da dinang la mandu ba me ba tene ji cha yong ge yore de yin zane tene jeju melage konregitene hloma nyama lexembum se ajirwa tene nyama lexembum la ta chu nyamsulembeki 출 ndor dune songyu zane tene chajachi mo ngaden de songnanda wa jesu melagi kare songbare sana churantene tadandi ta nyamle kanji chewa ina yang tangbo semje namla ningjigums tene tege jela 소소라니 예담게라 파와 투지 침보임바 곰스 tene 소소게 찌올라 자벨라마 곰스 tene 웅니 찾아 침보게 되는게 토라 tene 냠브라샤스 대 탐제 차외기 제라 tene 호와 양타바지 체스 대인도 아 대야보지 하코와 제네 tene 추 나데 양타바지 하코와 제네 tene 냠네 낭쇼스 따티엔디 칸달 추 탐지에게 닝보촌 돌드바데 자자치 뭔가 된 스나트레지 송나와라
So here, when we talk about the 5-fold path of Mahamudra, usually it is said that Drikung's 5-fold path of Mahamudra. But if you look carefully and pay attention deeply, it is not just the Drikung's 5-fold path of Mahamudra. It belongs to all the Kajupas 5-fold path of Mahamudra. And why is that? Because the Milarepa has given the teaching to NYIMA Leksebum, his direct disciple. So when he asks Milarepa, how can we practice, which comprises all the teachings of the greater and lesser vehicle and so forth. That time, Milarepa instructed him that if you want to practice the whole in one, then you should practice first compassion, compassionate mind, which is based for the benefit of all other sentient beings. And then after that, one should practice the yidam, the deity, that taking oneself as the kind of the compassionate one, that is the Avalokiteshvara, Tuji Chimbo. So the compassionate one you have to practice. And also one's crown, one should practice, visualize one's own root guru. And at the same time, one should practice the emptiness, the Mahamudra. And in the end, one should also make a dedication, all this practice. So these 5 points are very important. So what Jisimilarapa stated is that if all the essence of the teachings of Dharma are contains, then it is included in this 5-fold path of Mahamudra. Last one.
Oh yeah. That any tenation dongo pamo tribaki and Joban Jetin Sungola, Harrisonbarasana. Then dinner tenechi, Chanchu Nyambo, Sanjegi Combo, Matuku Pardo, chewing about the Madras Chegures, what in the Damnamara, Pardu in Jetin Sungola. The Indusane, Jetin Sungun Gitneji, Tugin Yamlayang, Chaja Chimbu, Nade Bare, Jetin Sungun Getachi, Doja Shenla. Chu Sabadan Jachewa country Sumba in a young, Chaja Chimbo, Nading in Nanasul Dune, Sona that Lechi, Chayunguru, the Indusane, then around so GONGCHIG Sayandean, Tachi, Chen Kakandoji, GONGCHIG Sayandos, Das on Mado Tundu, Chaja Chimbo, Nading Le, Lost Jury, GONGCHIG, Medevat in the Chi, Redure. The Indusane, Tachaja Chimbo, Nading La, GONGCHIG. 네, 야, 누술로 지금도 선호당와 있는 배는 나대에서 인도산의 당부 chanchu고 있으면 건백이다. 림바테로와 디 인도산의 단단 디 나랑 주 슈대하게 레우 선한다 촌 네 이반대기 따조 나대에 나네 chanchu고 있으면 건백이 되는 림바세야 대대인 거요와 딩이 중나대 직대래 Tenetena Shinto Tandandi GONGCHIG Chom Tangabarwa Sangha Gichom. Ta Sangha Gichom Ginangla, Nazo Naden Ginane, Yedam Gila Sea, Naden Nibadi, Yedam Gilarwa, Tejeduzane, Yedam Gila, Gombe Rimba, Gomtan condition of Gomgu Yuba. Yedam Gila Gombe Nula, Nazotane, Minjigi, one country Shugu Yuba. Tene Tenajin do Minjigi Wang Shu, Tenajin Lam Jeremdang, Zoram La Soba Gom. Tene Tendegi Gombrachevigi, Lai Netang to Kande Mata, Tenzo Gordi, Shiftati, Tene Liu Nabagi Song in Luzane, Tene Nadeng Nane, Niba Yedam Gila Seate, Liu Navet in a Tenja Watota, and the Chi Chayung Gurua. Come on, did you know?
Last one. So like this, Pamo Durba has also instructed to Jiten Sumgin that the 5-fold path of Mahamudra is the essence practice or teaching of the masters. And then thereafter, Jiten Sumgin also keep practicing and teaching the 5-fold path of Mahamudra. So here, when we talk about the GONGCHIG, then when we talk about the GONGCHIG is not other than these 5-fold path of Mahamudra. So all the 5-fold path of Mahamudra were included here in this GONGCHIG. And how it is included is, for example, here now, right now, we are talking about the Vajra verses of the Bodhisattva vows. This vows shows the like kind of the practice of the bodhicitta. And then the 5th Vajra verses of the mantra practice. It shows that secret mantra practice. It shows about the idam practice or deity practice and how it is practiced and how to receive the empowerment and how to be made oneself as ripening for the ripening, just to make oneself as a conducive factor for receiving the teachings and all so on is stated in the fifth Vajra verses of the vital points, vows of the secret mantra. Last one.
Yeah. Tene shin 당한준 데 가생 슈 차르와 티 차르웨기 좀 당보 중거르게 좀당 근데 좀 니바 땡제게 좀 세야다 근데 좀 니보 되기 tene 추 차제 전부 나대게 나네 다 숨바 단단대로 단데르다 좀 당보니 말에 따금집에 좀 당야 야만 투루 대치도 전에 단단간저 따와당 곰바 쥐바스는 다 산이 원에 좀 두바되게 쏘는 거로 띵도 전에 좀 두바되래요 좀 두배 나네 조 가르송 거로서는 먼저 되네 차저 침벽이 따와 곰바 쥐바 된대게 따금 쥐좀 넘버 타바지 랑기 줄라 제월 제발라 되는 먼저 가르고 요래서나 당보 따금 쥐숨기 쥐바 넘버 타바지 고요로 tene juban number tawa tedan dembegi laman sinida demba tegi jesu zongwe tene loman nöden ta tendegi gorde tene sanyi dagum jube chomna songyo yore te indi zane dagum jube chom tegi nanzo chu ngadengi nane tene lamen nenjur te zo chene tene songna wata tene jei cha yung yore te indi zane tene ngadengi nane somba lamen nenjur te 다금 집에 총거든요. 송제 같은 데 지레스.
And like the sixth Vajra verses, the unit of the sixth Vajra verses, which is based on the vital point of view, meditation, and conduct. So it shows about how the view, meditation, and conduct is done. And here we have to focus on the authentic master, and also at the same time understanding of these three view, meditation, and conduct, who can instruct directly by the masters, who has like the authentic master, and at the same time the student or the disciple, who is the authentic disciples. And when you practice this one, and this is known as the third point, that is the laminal the yoga charya, means like guru yoga practice. So we have the first, second, and now this is the this unit shows the guru yoga. Last one.
German sason.
Last one.
Oh yeah. Tene da 디지라 다 ngadengi nane tene ngaba jibade 다 찾아 첨부해야 되려와 대인도 전에 텐데게 찾아 첨부기 tene nen가데 조 가wan 땡겨에 손도 전에 좀 당보 중거르게 좀당 네 좀이바 땡저게 좀 세다 띵이게 송고요 송고 가르사나 중거르게 총게 나라 다 산지점 된데기 주그 풍부 제체지동 선나연다 중거르숨 선나연다 텐데기 중거르숨게 중렘 중거르숨게 당해봐 따뜻한 소거대 소년도 전에 tene chungkurusum juja hingbo chaja chimbo cha yung yore tende yimbe jumsen jigre tene tina shen do chaja chimbo seya teyang tendel los chupa ching mare tendel sene ko surdu suji jane tene chaja chimbo seya ji pa kaga chene tende ji yomarwa ten du zane lobon ludubge tene ndiji songdo wa kase zawa shiram nangla uma umegi jung nangla tendel ma do tongni seya ji 요마레스 동니 파샤네 야 델레 셴도 주르베 덴저세야지 요마레스 땡도 전에 동당 덴저세야데 동니다 덴저세야데 고지간주 나와 군주게 차나 상호당용도 전에 덴저세는 맹다용고요고 지기지가 덴베상신인바 디 ngola sanu tangyo zane tongni chaja chenpo sege yore tuandu tendir dan chaja chenpo tuanda jigwa yingyo zane tene tendir tsomdang chungkuru tsomnibu tegi tene nga dengi nane zowo tene chaja chenpo de sungu yu so tene jigi sungbare.
And the fourth one, the Chaja Chempo is here. It is presented by the first unit of the Vajra verses and the second unit of the Vajra verses. That is the first training develop, the vital points of training develop Dharma, and the vital point of the dependent factors of these two Vajra verses. Then, like for example, when we talk about the training develop, the Vajra verses of the training develop Dharma, it shows the 84,000 teachings of the Buddha of and it talks about the three times the training develop, three kind of training develop Dharma. So what are the essence of the three kind of training develop Dharma? There's first, second, and third training develop Dharma. The essence of these three training of develop Dharma is actually the dependent arising, dependent factor, and it's a Mahamudra. And as it was stated by the Nagarjuna, that there is no other the dependent factor than the emptiness. So when we talk about emptiness in terms of the conventional truth, then it is known as the tendel, or it's known as the the dependent factor. But whereas when we talk about ultimate or absolute truth, it's known as the emptiness. So therefore, these teaching, whether it's dependent factor or emptiness, it's actually talking about the Mahamudra, the great Mahamudra.
Oh yeah. 다 되네 가지고 공직라다 갈파송 스남 늘외기 좀대 당 되네 제우 좀니 하서 대인도 전에 다른 늘외기 좀 지유로 대 믹세레 다 단단 제우 좀 듬바지유로 산재기 사이 좀 된도 좀 듬바되게 가르송 거 요래서 근데 찾아 정보 나den게 나네 근데 호와서야 소용 거 요래 제단 빼는 지금 호외 거기 계좌 된데데 산이 좀 현단한 레용 그래데 얘는 좀 호와 제용도 전에 오늘게 호와 타르도백 호와 양답에 제우데 가르스나 산재기 공방인도 전에 근데 다다는 제우 산재 땜바 되게 되는 호와대 소용 거 요래 소용 간사나 호외 따지 제출 뭐와 양답한테 지금 중송하이나 디인제우 산재기 공방인도도 전에 되네 제우기 차네 되네 뭐와대 산재기 사서야다 좀 nim바되게 되는 거예요 송발에
And now the fifth fold of the Vajra, the fivefold path of Mahamudra, is that the dedication. And how the dedication is shown is that like from the unit part of the fruition, the vital point of fruition. This unit of Vajra verses shows that the fruition, that's the dedication. How it is shown is that, so we have talked about here in the GONGCHIG, we talk about the vows, and here also we need to talk about the fruit. And this fruit, for example, like For example, the ultimate fruit, the ultimate fruition, the perfect fruition is that the state of Buddhahood. And this state of Buddhahood is shown by the 7 Vajra verses of fruition. So what it means is that when you are doing the dedication, the ultimate dedication is done and happen only when you become a Buddha. So therefore, the 7 Vajra verses of the fruition shows the dedication. Awesome. So now we have all the 5-fold of Mahamudra. So this is how the whole teachings shows or presents the 5-fold part of Mahamudra.
네, 단단히 다 좀 등근안에 소탈게 좀 세야 돼. 하루와 띵이다. 소탈게 좀데 가령 송교에서는 지된 송공게 차자 진봉 나데 차창게 되네 객설도 본데 되네 지 차용구였다. 점생 가서는 빼는 가상 아주 장축의 셈 송용도 전에 장축의 셈 domba juile tene jiwara chebala nibardo soso tarbe domba gu yores tendu sotarge domba dan dembege kansa jila tene janju sembe domba tobyagi kokabde yungu yorwa jida jogo jege yang tesung yore sotarge domba yungenge kansala janju sembege domba tobyagi da kokab yores temato kokab me sumbara tinajin jiden sungun kya tene janju sembe domba nyamneje chegu yona tela nibardo sotarde gu yore tende yendutsane soso tarba seya deya janju sembe nyamnenaya be kechembure o tende yendutsane sotarde 장sem게 되네 객설도 봉도 대나신 되네 상하 냠내 친게 예담게 라공캔다 지나야 상하데 되네 개침볼 주름데 개침볼이 변한 소소대로 dom바된 띠인디 산행한서 상하 총걸 내용을 요래 상하라 되네 주름 맥감이 소는 거 요래 주름 차와이나 되네 한룩 두고 말해 소는 요래 디제도 전에 되네 지 나댕게나네 예담게 라이 냠내나야 주름 대기 객설 두고 요래 본돈 두고 요래 대나진도 되네 라멘 nenjur지 냠내 나와 있나요 라멘 nenjur기 냠내 대라 객설을 제바나 본돈을 제바 탐제대 소소 다르게 되는 추첨된 송와래 근데 인도전에 소다르대 라멘 nenjur기 객설당의 본돈양 자연구요와 근데 대나진도 제주 투모 마인바 이제 된 송고 가르송고요로서나 착체인데 추첨이 내 찍어 인송고요래 가정 흠마양 깨진 돌도 쉬인바 착진에서도 자 정보지당 추첨서도 전에 거지 지단 노멀 개념 랑지 먼저 지다 투몽 개념인데 지라 섬 당기요 만지된 송급에 즉 착진당 내가 찍어인 송용도 전에 뭐다 소수다르바테 지 찾아진 분념는 그냥 객설 본돈 차용구요래 되네 되나신도 소수다르바테 추첨게 객설당 다른데 뭐외게 객설당 본돈 차용구요래 제단 변화되네 추름단 덴바이나 근데 뒤 톱지 배나 개념 추름 넘버 타바 덴덴게 게스루 추름 넘버 타바 덴덴게 gelong 추름 넘버 타바 덴덴게 근데 지 임바이나 근데 뭐놈 가르자노임 누구를 송도 원함지 대시도 전에 근데 홍어외기 객설단 봉도양 소다르데 차용 거요 대인자 근데 공식 남게 좀 단다 숨바데 근데 중앙된 용족이 객설단 봉도 오다 되지 차용구 유사래 오다 되게 먼저 공치 있어야 돼 나된 나라는 도술 놀든로 오지 되지래
And also like in the GONGCHIG there is the unit of the individual vows, the unit of individual vows, and it is stated that it becomes itself as a foundation for all other the practices. For example, the 5-fold part of Mahamudra, it becomes the kind of the foundation for the 5-fold part of Mahamudra. And how it becomes is like this. For example, like when you want to receive the bodhicitta or have to practice the bodhicitta, then you have to have the vows of the individual vows. And Jiten Sumgin has also stated that And in order to have the bodhisattva vows, then, and also like the individual vow is very important. At the same time, in order to receive the mantra vows, also it's very important. And even when you are practicing the Yidam, this individual vows is very important. It's required there in order to solve the path, or in order to protect yourself. And even for the Laminajo, the deity practice also, it is good. It serves as the protection for the practice. So here in this point, the one of the most important one is unique thing is that what Jiten Swinmin said is, as we have also stated last time for briefly about this, is that the point is that the Mahamudra and the vows are not other than each other. So they are same. So Jiten Swinmin gave same importance to the vows as he has given to the Mahamudra. And also in the, like, when you talk about the like dedication also, it serves as a foundation for the dedication, and also solve, and also this protect the dedications. So for example, we have a thing like a novice and novice monk and monk. If we have a very good condition of the practice of the vows, then whatever they aspire, that is possible. And it is stated that the whatever they aspire, if you practice, if you preserve that vows, individual vows, then it is stated that you could able to fulfill your wishes. Lasso.
다 텐데 인도 들은 아주 가상근 참다 장생부 총근나네 드네 다 돌지송 데려와 녀몽지면 동안 메시세야 다 대송인 거요래 대인도 전에다 녀몽지 많이 동화지 쓰기 말에서는 송인도 전에 조 가르송 거에서는 다 들송 단단 데려와 나바데 딜라테네 카셰기 송도 전에 제단테네 가서 chanchu simbe기 domba 다 슈차도 전에 디 domba 되기 지금 멘템베 초세그로 domba 대단 갈와 동화 텐데라 자외 동화 당 연락의 동화 텐데지 송용 거다 연락의 니제양 세그래 나 등조라 장가대서 만들어 요래도 이나야 자르게 흘러빈 전부 젠더 고미 공개 가르송 바레스는 테네 chanchu simbe기 dom바당 갈외 네 자외 동화 테라 자외 동화 예 야나 제 다텐데 간들 줄도는 예래 테네 연락이 니바텔라 니제 집주 셰루 세나다 장가 집주 셰루 좀 송요래 텐데 도만 니슈바세 베차티나라 대치류 전에 다 디기 토라네 마치 이제 난탄도지 표현 개발는 좀 송용도 전에 근데 chanchu simbe기 동화 텔라 집주 셰루 텐솔라 녀몽바 이렇게 동화당 녀몽바 찐 마임베 동화서 동화 대생카 인도 진짜 신앙인 거요래 녀몽찐게 동화 녀몽찐 마임베 동화스 아티인도 전에 제 텐솔라 녀몽찐게 동화생도 너차 셰당 티무 단제외게 동화 텐솔라 녀몽찐게 동화세요래 야테 마임베게지 텐시 메바당 tene meshe badang hama wala so ba tendela tene chungwe pa me bala tene chungwe ke tonga tenzola nyamongche maimbe tonga sana tendeda ndreshenange yongde yore tende zane tonga tala ka ni tene ji chesongare ta tandan dene jeden songo kare songo yore sana tonga kanjin da ji inaya zawe tonga inaya nda yanlagi niba inaya nda tonga rik kanjin da ji inaya nyamongpa jen maimba 녀몽바 ndöchadan derwa shedangdan derwa timudan derwa 다 디숨보 가능당 제외게 동화지 인고로 마도베 등소 숨단 제와 매베 동화지 용식이 말해스 디인도 전에 나도 동화 용약이 조조데 다 뇌차 세당 띠묵숨보들 투용요레스 디지도 전에 두숨보데 봐 뽕아르 제반은 매전 제고래 대뽕도송아이나 들이 동화 가야 용거 말해스 근데 인도 동화 탐지에 대해 녀몽바단 저래스 대송바래
Now we have the fifth Vajra verses, the vital point of Bodhisattva vows. The transgression without affliction is impossible. Why did Lord Jigten stated here is that when he talked about the Bodhisattva vow, like there comes actually, it talks about the root causes and the branches or the subdivision of that. And here one of the scholars, the Indian scholar, the masters, Chandra Gomi, stated four kind of the vows, four kind of downfalls, sorry. And like the four kind of vows, and also there is a 246 when it is the four kind of vows is the root one, and 246 is the kind of the branches or the sub.
46, only 46.
46 lasso. Only 46. Four is the main vows, and the 46 is the sub vows. And altogether, when we talk about there are actually 246 Yoruba.
소탈 값으로 말 단다 장생 값.
Last Johnson was okay. So then only 46 there altogether. So within this 46, they are divided into two categories. That is, one is the afflictive and one is non-afflictive. So afflictive in the sense here, when all these downfalls, which were related with the like hatred and attachment, and this is taken as the afflictive downfalls, and the rest of the other downfalls, like which is not related with the attachment and hatred. For example, if you are normally doing something like just without paying attention, like naturally we commit mistakes. These are all taken into the account of the like a non-afflictive downfalls. But whereas the Jigten Sungyen stated that whatever the downfalls, it has to be included into these three poisons. It should be all these downfalls were actually have a connections with the three poisons, especially with the ignorance. So therefore, we have to eradicate, we have to give up these three kind of downfalls, these three kind of poisons. Otherwise, then there is no like a downfall other than these three, which is not having the connections with these three poisons. So therefore, what the usually people or the scholars, they said afflictive downfall and non-afflictive is not possible. So therefore, what he said is transgression without affliction is not possible. So therefore, whatever the downfalls, it has to be the afflictive downfalls, because this all can have a connections with the ignorance.
다 대야 동화 장추 선배에게 되는 동화 임바 차장대 녀몽바단 제외게 동화 임백이 점생도데 가르치고 그래서나 배는 알아서 줄라 드네 동화 강제지 중앙에 있나요? 이 동화 중앙에라 중세기 고르도라 고지여다. 동화 중앙 고지에서야지. Tindu ta tangbu karesana mishi pasaya tere hamawa. Pena chanchu sembe domban rawochi shu tsane chanchu sembe ge domba shuba tegi sungja kare imba. Drupguba kare imba. Tenzo hamawa ina yang tela tene tena tongwan jungya ki gochik chenru yorko. Rwa, kesi te shimba ina tongwan yungya la gochik nyungru chanru gore. Tindu zane tongwan jungya ki go tangbu de karasana mishi pasaya tere. 다 되네 계시 변나지 장주 선배 domba lene 송자당 되네 룩자 가리임바 심바이나양 나 디치부 mendipa 텔라 그셔 여바지고 그래 대마도 텔라 그셔 매바이나 송자라 그셔 매바 룩자라 그셔 매바 근데 지이나 야 어다 개요 말에 사만로 지기 돈은 니바치 용으로와 근데 인도산에 나도 동화 용서에게 고 니바데 가스나 마그바 세야 차인 거요래. 그러나 근데 다단디 야 디돌 계시지 송야 가래 이미 하고 그저야 예바 있나양 드네 다단디 밤에 봐서야 지금 그래. 야 밤에 계시면도 전에 송야 파빵야당 추르야기 사바 가래 이미디 ngo심바체 디돌라 하바 송야라양 그저야 예바체 제데 있나양 밤에 배시만도 출송아 배나 창라 소백이 라즈 송하다고 야나 조봉님 배시만도 출송하다고 다 텐데지 종송아이나 양고 동안 용야기 고직 창로요 대인도산에 고숨바데 밤에 세야 되래 근데 고 예바데 가르스나 다이 도선도 삽삽도 제바 있나양 당보되네 동화 뭐시 니바 대송야라 귀샵유 숨바드네 지다 잡잡로지 제네 바예반로지 제바 이나양 랑기 줄라 녀몬반 되차시다 띠무디 베 검지 슈침보지 윤켄지이나 양 디왕기 내가 넘주지 차용을 대인도산에 녀몬반 마와 세데레 대제도 되는 것도 동화지 중화이나 디 고지볼 때네 동화대 연구열에 디인도산에 동화 용화 중화대 녀몽바당 저와 땡땡 차대 같은지 제도열 디인도산에 디된 송공기 녀몽지 많이 동화 용 시그마레 세다 텐소톤에 드는 사무당고 유사레
So the reason why that the vows, the bodhisattva vows, the bodhicitta, the like kind of like downfall of the bodhicitta's vow is related, deeply related with the afflictive emotion, is that it has three doors, like Jiten Sumin stated there. Goshirwala, 3 doors. Or 4 doors, sorry. 4 doors. It has 4 doors. The first is the ignorant, not knowing what is to be practiced, what is to be protected, and what is to be accomplished, and what is to be avoided. So not knowing this, then through this door, one can have the downfall of the bodhisattva's vows. If you know what is to be practiced and what is to be accumulated or what is to be abandoned, then there shouldn't be any problem. But somehow, because of not knowing this, so this we commit the downfalls for the bodhisattva vows, and it's also related with the afflictive emotions. And second one is that even though if you know about what is to be practiced and what is to be abandoned and what is to be accomplished, but somehow there is no respect or like dignity for this kind of vows, and this can also lead to the afflictive emotions. And the third one is, though you understand and you have respect for, and you give the respect and dignity for you give the dignity for the vows, but somehow you have not like kind of awareness to practice that. If you have no awareness of practice, the attention or awareness is not there, then this will also lead to somehow to the afflictive emotions. Because, for example, if you're having like kind of, because it becomes like when you are intoxicated by the wine, or if you are misled by the friends who are misleading you. So then this is how also come under the category of afflictive emotions, like, or ignorance. And the fourth one is that though you have a respect, though you know all the practice part, and also you have this kind of awareness, but somehow one's own ignorant in the sense, one's own attachment and anger or hatred becomes so powerful there. It's very strong there. So this can lead you to the downfall of the Bodhisattva vows. So therefore, these four conditions, these four doors are the one which can lead you to the downfall of the Bodhisattva vows. So therefore, since these four are related with all the afflictive emotions or ignorance, so that's why the Lord Jesus stated that transgression without affliction is impossible. That's all.
다테네 도송 두바데레 다 두베가서 니바르 면줄 메게 나마메 송도와 단디 가르송거에서 인도 남중 간소 산노지 땅용도 자네 가르상거에서는 dom바숨기 냠랭게 나네 다 소터게 dom바데 소야 깔레 카슈지 가르제나에 패치 만리버 손도지 논주 용초초원도지 dom바소야 깔레 카슈지는 문제는 조요로 근데 장추선배 dom바세에 데디스 레하완도지 저런데 다지 셰다나 때는 소죄바세야지 장주선배 dom바를 나와요 말에 마도베 이젠다 뇌차던 저기 내가 텐데양 장주선배기 지초유의 존로지 게시디 장주선배 제바이나 니바 매베 존로 같은데야 신킨 텐데 상무 단계 용대유래 왜냐면 매개와 준로지가 차자바이나 근데 가시게 손인데 저는 매개와 주체르대 당 라버도 릉하게 매개와 듬보대 장출선배가 그 지초의 존로 지시에요래 연던도 근데 가시에게 텔레티스 지 밤존도 산에다 소주바서야 데티스 장출선배 제약갈래 가버려 모두 현다 연던도 마진발렘바 연던도 테네지 마상와 제발라서 같은데 지초그래 해서야로 근데 계자지 연구요래 딘도 계시 테네지 제바이나야 니바 연구 말에 그 가서는 연던으로 와서야로 다지 계자 지보지 시행을 그 연던으로 와서야지 다 단단되는 이제 대성공 가르송 거에서는 매개 와서야 돼 코란 랑신게 랑다 옌라 네바칭행게 뭐지래 딘도 텐데게 매개와 되게 랑다 옌라 펜베 투수지 연구 말해스 딘도 전에 니바 매베기 매개 왔어야지 장주 선배에게 제적으로서 나와 자원이네 요 말해스 니바르면 좀 매개 나와메스 어떻게 송거래 텐데 장주 선배에게 돈베깔라 있나요 매개와 쪽방고레스 테난신도 소다르가서 있는 빵자리 마도베 텐데기지 소다르가서 매개와 제는 논트리임바 장주 선배깔라 매개와 제 초월에서 나이제 같은데 개 말해스 어떻게 송바래
So now the sixth virtue verses, non-virtues that do not become false are not permitted. So what it says here is when you talk about the three kind of the vows. For example, when you talk about the individual vows, it seems to be like it's very difficult to practice because it objects or it stops doing abstraining from many misdeeds, refraining you from doing some misdeeds and all this. Then there is a like kind of objection to do so these and that and all this. And when we talk about like a bodhisattva's vows, and sometimes it is little bit open up or little more free compared to the individual vows. And some people say that, like, accept the killings, whereas some of the vows are at almost like permissible, or it is possible to like kind of permit it, like for example having a kind of stealing and also having like sexual misconduct and so forth in the view of benefiting other sentient beings. It is permissible, and like those there are many things stated there, but somehow Lord Jigten stated that if that is the non-virtuous actions, whether it is a bodhisattva's in terms of the bodhisattva's vows or in terms of the individual vows, it's all same, because you are committing the same mistake. You're doing the same mistake, and there is no differences between the two, because when you commit a mistake, then there is no like kind of chance that you can do you can benefit other beings, because it is actually deeply rooted with the ignorance. So therefore, when you're doing with the ignorance, there is no such possibility that you can able to benefit other sentient beings. Therefore, whether it is in terms of the bodhisattva's vow, it is also not permissible, which is not permissible in the like individual vow. If it is not permitted in the individual vow, the same thing is there in the bodhisattva's vows. It's also not permissible, because the ignorant means ignorance. So whether it does in the individual vows or the bodhisattva vows, it does the same thing, and it's related with the ignorance. So therefore, what he stated was non-virtues that do not become false are not permitted. Last one.
당연 좀 드는 선호 당사지 가려요래서는 근데 시월하게 준주는 되지 송로와 까번 남장 대라 낭세 지지인 거와 다디세도 전에 가르송 바라서는 산지준된 대기 담춘 누르의 값수 까샤고 텐소대 되니 단다 연도 장주의 섬게 끊는 하는 장주 섬냠낸 챙기게 강사라 장주 섬배 죄반냠낸 챙기게 강사라 되니 소다르게 내가서 까샤 같은데 대 장성의 내가서 낭샤버래 세야다 된대지 나도 찍기 모동도 된대지 남주 준주는 용되게 까봐 텐소 나와래 세야지 따티지리 전에 디찍대라 벽인 개발신다긴 대시자단 지당 지든 송고 공부시당 대시자단이 카가래 인다 가서는 메게와 전도 지나야 참 인던도 메게와 제자와 있나 저랑 같은 대우 동해 연구 말에 강에 요 말에 세안도 지 근데 인사 나와래 그 전도 자치 못 두두래 해야지 개발신다 대송고로 단든 지든 송고게 까관 남자 대란 낭 송도선에 가르 송고로서나 저랑기 심진 연구 돈도 메게와지 제자와 있나 대라 때문에 저랑은 대우 동해 연구 말에 띠인도 메게와데 제쇼스 된다 말에스 오늘 가르레에서 인도전에 초랑기 연구 돈도 메게와체나ян다 초랑기 랑이기 돈도 메게와체와이나ян다 간다르 메게와데 메게와 인자 kon dewu dunghe chi tende yungres ko loba me ba chi yungurwa 인도 전에 저랑 딘 데브 동해도 조금 제도 누구만도 저랑 따고래 손발에 딘도 저랑 다지 연계 체도 소주백이 내가지 제네 소제바 텔라 때네 심친 연다 망보지라 펜다 버체토 이내야 심친 찍소 제제바 인도 전에 텔라 때는 데우 동해 마음보다 용화대 저랑게 조금 제도 유나 근데 다 연도 제스 텐데 손발에 마도베 저랑한테는 연계 돈도 소제바 있는 텔레 니바 연구 말에 텐데 인자 저랑 소제 쉬시베 된 말에 스티인도선에 낭세게 찍대 된다라야 저랑 제부텔라 저바금투구여나 다 저랑 다쇼스 뭐다 텐데게 된다 임고래 손발에 티인도선에 니바 먼저 메게 나와메 세다 텐소토나서 놓단고 서래
So now here the complement for the like the Vajra verses 6. Usually it's a kind of controversy here, and like the Shantadeva, Acharya Shantideva, he stated in his like Bodhicharya Avatara, in one of the contexts, what it states is somehow, which is not permissible during the like kind of the individual vows, are also permitted here in this context. So that means that some of the vows were permitted. So here in this context, there are two different kind of views coming. And some of the scholars, even in Tibet, they say that, so some of the like non-virtuous actions are committed in order to benefit other sentient beings, in order to help other sentient beings. It is permissible. But whereas the definition for this one is, then what they said is, those scholars said that you don't have the downfalls, even if you practice, because in the Bodhisattva's vows, it is permissible. So since it is permissible, you can do that. And there's no downfalls. But whereas Lord Jigten stated that it doesn't mean that you don't have the downfalls. You equally have the downfalls. If you are doing bad thing, that means you have to face the consequences. The consequences is there, whether you do it at the individual vows or whether you do it at the Bodhisattva vows. But what the difference is that the Jigten Sumgyen stressed is that it depends upon whether you could able to bear the consequences or not. This is what it means by the Shantideva. If you could able to bear the pain, if you could able to bear the consequences of the wrongdoing or misdoing or whatever, then you can do that. You are allowed to do. So if you could bear that. So what he says is that if you committed such kind of causes and condition, then the consequences is bound to follow up. So therefore, it doesn't mean that if you do this, commit mistakes, there's no kind of downfall. It doesn't mean that. It means that whether you are able to bear the consequences or not, this is what Lord Jigten stated, that even if you are like kind of a higher state and you are committing mistakes, and you are bound to face the consequences. The consequences is there. Therefore, like what Jigten stated is, we should be very careful about doing the like benefiting other beings in terms of the like kind of consequences, in terms of these kind of the vows. That's all.
Tene dorje son dimba tege tamke jula mege yomain sondowa. Tan dilayang ngazo namjun karasam tangeresna tanda kongdan dewa chimbore. Chanju simba namji tene beji simchen shindondo simchen shin so jeba dawu. Tendegi le mege wachi jeba ina di mege wadi ngarangso namjun ge mege wadan dag mares. Di mege wa so jeba dawu degi mengna karasa tamke ge jeba segire segirda. Pablan kebe jeba segires. Di indu zane dan dila lingshi ji yoro ndogananga. Bena dacha ge demba jomden de tene ngama chanchu samba yimbe kabla. Jazula narulenga dan ronking chungba chungbon jire. Tene kongi roba dela roba chungyo ngabja tamba tiya tene ji doa. Tene konzo ge tuseng nan tala yang mi shimba ji yore minabo. Saya ji ta konang ming tene jire. Dong lakwa la ketenge michi yu barda. Mixege din chunra kendre shi jagumandu michi yore dong ketenge ji. Desko shedang cawo yung kenchi, chado chenpo yung kenchi. Ta tene konzo nyamdo jatsolo naru lengan ro yung du zane. Roba jinda tandolo naru pe mangu top yore. Ina tanda me dezo shedang chenpo yung ken kola naru ki rikshida top mando. Tene kuyo sambala ta ngala naru shida yung mare konzolo naru mamundo tendu zane nizo samwa pa se ne. Konzo naru de tene ngarangi chik dabu jab thoba chi zoyin samba chinji loba chi che yung du zane tene kuyo lega dem gozu yung yorda. Ishen da pa mewa zoya la. Tende ki nechur de tandan de tab chungpon de 산제기다 chanchu samba imbe kabruwa 총본되게 하권에 다 탑시 빼망부 탑람 잠을 때네 계시 빼는 민디기 내 로바 민납자든 도시 세샤바 이는 너도 상관이 빼 chanchu samba 장장의 티바 친구의 강사 근데 생긴 거랑 마음 발에 빼 동해 체매 받은 용사래 삼배 통에 코 마음 백인 대구 동해를 좁야게 체도 근데 총본기 단단히 매 시단지 매 마롱와데 근데 세샤바와 세샤바데 chanchu samba ngabjade so chabar다 기저 도도시나 따디 링지 되게 돌아 근데 벽인 개발신다게 선우당당 직당 이제 된 송고 도삼 시단이 뜻 카가 차는 거예요 벽인 개발 남지 가르송 거를 saying 전에 된대게 소 제자와 대 chanchu samba ngabja 탐바 짭 근데 이제 세야 대한 콜 팽하게도 코 마음 바라 동해 매용시도 세로와 스테인도 전에 딜레 개발해서 이렇다 간다는 도나 탑런 개베 죄바레스 디인도 데 메게오 마레스 헬라테네 근데 베카르와 망보게 초사 투바레스 공개 초사 송아레스 딘데 시작이다 대잠지 단제된 송국의 대버든 드시 지바레 제 chanchu samba ngabja thamba so chabare tanda me marongwate maongbege dungele chabare dedu samata tendege nibala tene chanchu samba khongge chope mangbo sa songare debordun reshe chibare tan jede songge dige thola gare songge yoresana reshe sarbaji keba shenge masongwaje gare songge yoresana di kapsu jawa zangbo chebatang 자왕 님바 제반이 이와 체고래 송거래 chanchu samba ngabja chabade pe sonam so jachembo sabe lekachile tene me marongwade maongbage dunghe manyongwe chedu tendrege chane pe gewalap chimbure yinayang mit se chabarwas so chebarwas dege chane megebares woten tidu chane 탑란 케백이 쬐바당 메게와니 카가이와 체브레스 가인스는 콘소니는 제우 소소소소 요래 송말에 탑란 케벤 제우 대기 가르바 망보고 초사 송말에 메게웨긴 제우 대기 되네 단다 대변 첨보대 냐와라 제와랑 로주다와 단다 장주 선바 첨보대 대나시 산지 좀 된데 음버 줘봐 상제베 값수 샤블라 신게 되는 차바던데 수능외 놀주유와 대인도 전에 드네 개와든 메개와데 데고 소소 도는 제시자고레스 디체자 탐게 줄라 메개 요마이 세 대송래
신기 설마신 수기가 슈디 산지기 샤블라 슈디
신감보던데 차요지 신감보던데 차송 같은데 샤블라 수로와
원래 오르질라서
되게 되는 레기 남힌 제우 타마인 산지 코르기 송도와 미나 메테세바레스 딘 제우 타마인 송마데
so like the 7 devotional verses in skillful conduct there cannot be non-virtues so like it is stated that like in the bodhisattva's practice there are like kind of some kind of non-virtuous activities were permissible and even in the like for example like with the skillful means of benefiting other sentient beings even in the sutra one of the contexts there and during the time where the Buddha was in the time of the bodhisattvas and when they are on the way to the ocean to get the jewels or the diamonds, and there are about 500 businessmen together, all are bodhisattvas. And at the same time, there is one person known as the black person, so who also has the kind of spears, like who hold the spear. And at that time, when they went to for the business of getting the jewel, and all the other the 500 businessmen, they have a very good amount of the jewelry. But at the same time, this person, the black guy, he didn't have that much. Then what he thought about is to try to kill that other 500 business person and take all their jewelries, or, for himself. So that time, the Buddha also, there in the form of one of the bodhisattva, he came to know that person's intention, the bad intention. And he thought that if he killed this bodhisattvas, 500 bodhisattvas, the businessman, this person, the black guy, would be accumulating a lot of demerits, and he will be being born in the hellful end. And for thousands of kalpas, aeons, he would be suffering in the like hell beings. So therefore, it's better I can kill this guy and have this person not to commit this kind of mistakes. So this is actually in view of benefiting other sentient beings. He did that and he killed that person, and he did that. So whereas there's some other scholars in Tibet and also from the scholars in India, they stated that up to here, and they said this is a good deeds and this is virtuous deeds, and they don't explain after that. And what the Jigten Sumgyen stated is that though we have to differentiate between the virtues and non-virtues there. And what the Jigten Sumgyen said is, yes, up to here, his intention is good, but he did all this non-virtues with the kind intention, with the altruistic intention, but somehow he also did the non-virtuous deeds, and he has to face the consequences. And later, therefore, because of that, even the Buddha has to face the consequences. For example, there is the wood, the dry wood, whereon Buddha has stepped his feet, and he got a sore on the feet. And at that time, Buddha said that, so this is because of my consequences, because I did the mistake at that time. So even what he means is the Buddha has to face the consequences. Why not the Bodhisattva? This is what exactly it means here. So therefore, the specialty here with the Jigten Sumgyen is that, so if you are with a Bodhisattva or not, doesn't matter. If you are making a mistake, then it's a mistake. And if you're committing a non-virtuous, then it's non-virtuous. So therefore, you have to differentiate between the virtues and non-virtuous together here. La sola.
Tene thegi jela ande do dorje sung jeba de ranshen jeba niban jurga yu se terda tan de sung de zane kar sung yung yu sana nganzo namjun yang cham chula shu yung de zane kar sure lamsang de thoya la pe rewa shu che thane tene yang lega kanjung manjung go zu ya tende yung ro 대인도 전에 땅은 티과 침벽이 장추 선배기 동바지 슈차나 그냥 다신 제고래 다신 제백이 냠내는 배선 제고래 땅은 배 다신 제올로고 그래서 한도 다든데기 섬슈 첨부지 당부 연구로와 대인도 전에 제대로 성공 가르송 그래서는 나랑 쪽이 냠내게 좀 청마대 소수기 되는 뇌받은 데 냠내지 지야를 배 개침물에 송거래 소수기 되는 지 섬기 topshu luge topshu tensudan tumbaji ge tonen nyamlenji chene yang rotu songa ina tene kange nyongwa yarjen ro chewa tene ji yungres temado tambone nganzo oda nganzo tegwa chimbure sana dashin jewa tene ji che jaba ina tela tene dashin jewa jeban gi lega te nonjul gi lega ji chayagi 고갑지 용시바레스 텐두 랑신제와 니반주가요 세 데레 대제도 전에 빼나드네 남전디로와 다 단다드네 Tiwa Chimbu Simchi Domba Shubare, Shugu Yorede, Yinayang, Sosugi Simgi Tola, Nyamlingi Nubatega, the Shu Chimbuchi, Malib Yondu Zane, Nanzotani Jimba Tandu Zanayang, the Sosolo Yuba Sanga de Jimba Tangshana, Gang in Tayungo. Sosolo Yube Nubo Sama Jimba Tang Shadu, Telatene, Jason Jepachaya Netantande, Yungurua. Takesi Bene Simgi Nubat Petsen Tomboji Lip. 장축의 성능 운행이지 등수여바지 차송하이나다 소설로 예번 무고 참아지 마땅하잖아요. 다동 가외기 삼로 마도베 주베스인데 제사마와 이내야 대가 좀 성근 네바 매용도 있잖아요. 근데지 소설로 예바 창마다 땅은도 다신 제불에서야로 대신 땅와 있나. 근데 강에 태용고 요래 대인도 전에 란신 제와데 니번 주를 가요래. 스티치에서 냠내데 뒤든 봐. 소속이 누바던 tumba 던지지가 토나야 림바시는 로고에 백해체물에 대송발에
And the 8 Vajra verses, they are cases when exchanging oneself and others become a fault. So what it means is like when you are practicing the Dharma, usually sometimes we do a different kind of activities. We take bodhisattva vows and we try to exchange oneself with others and take their like kind of demerits or their problem or their sickness to oneself and share one's own happiness and peace and to others. So what Jiten Sung will state is that whatever we do, it has to be depend upon one's own like kind of capabilities, one's abilities with the time and one's own abilities. Otherwise, if you don't see how capable you are and what kind of capacity you have, if you don't do that, and sometimes it also becomes a fault. Why? Because, for example, like sometimes it becomes a fault. Why? Because, for example, if you have something like whatever you have, properties or whatever, you get saying that you are bodhisattvas, you receive the bodhisattva vows, now you're going to offer whatever you have. And what you did was you offer all the belongings and positions you have, but after sometimes you feel regret. And what happened is then, it becomes the opposite. Then rather than having the kind of benefit, it affects you. So because of that, what Jiten Sung stated is, whatever we do, we practice. First, we have to see how capable we are and up to which extent we could be able to do that and do these kind of things. Otherwise, like exchanging oneself with others becomes the problem. And in the same, that's why the Lord Jiten Sung stated that whatever you do, we have to do according to our own capacity, according to our own like kind of the time, situation, and capacity. Otherwise, if you do this one, it is possible that it becomes the fault. That's all.
대인들의 산지기 도에 나라 단 남kenning 부시빈 도세도 티나나 가르송으로서나 대체 마인 발라드네 지 다신 지올로야 텐소 두글레인 송도 텐소 파체레스 어떤데 송요레 대나신도 텐네 시왈라기 단다 삽두게 나와 사바꾼에 되바세요 베체스도 티나나 가르송으로서나 페나 행동도 오지나 주란드네 사원데 사고로마 땀네 행동도 충충지 민대베 갑라 근데 행동도 배주 제제와이나 마음발은 되고 첨부 연구 말레스 행동 충충이 임베갑수 나고야고 자고레스 데라 송주야고 제고레스 근데 마음발의 행동 첨부 차츠베질은 더 무슨 소고 도토그레스 베티나 신도 데네 단단간주 티와 첨부의 주요 냠수 렌네 장주의 셈기 냠네 징게 등속이 지 당부 조 셈그 돌아 장주의 셈 검야 the KHENCHEN was over is. Mado, Tambogone, some good Nubashida, Mevetone, Lalang told Musu Shuswaina, then some gang and cigarettes and somebody thing to Sane, then Tenso don't deton that Jiguatanichi Chayungure.
So for that reason, like the Buddha has also stated in the Akasha Garbha Sutra, and also like kind of the Lapakinti, which is the Sangra, Shiksha Sangra, it was stated there. It's like kind of protecting the small tree. Like, for example, if you protect this, when the tree is very small, we have to protect the tree. And in the near future, when the tree becomes bigger, then it's possible that it can give you the fruits and so forth, the results. So in the same way, when we are like kind of beginners, the individuals, when I practice, we are beginners, then first we need to protect our mind. And later on, when we become so powerful or strong enough, then it is possible that one could do the exchanging with others, your virtues or whatever. So therefore, it is stated that we should first protect our mind, then only when you become so strong with the time and situation, when you are like kind of well prepared, then you could be able to do these kind of activities, but not for the beginners. Lasso.
Then Dorje song Gupa, symbol Neji, development racing song doa. Tandi Kajan Dordu Tevaina, Nazadam Jun Kashe Karsayusana, Tango Chanchu Sambatan Sola, Ji Cheba Puya Tang, Chan Sewala Sobatendegi, Ji Zambug and Dewaji Chetubaina, Nazumune Tende, Jobo Sanjika Komotogal Pengres. Takesi Telaji Zambuton and Dewaji Che Matubaina, and Nimbeton and Dewaji Chegina Yagres, Dewa Kayam Evale. Nimbeton and Dewaji Chejawaina, when a Chanju Sambatan, nobody Chejawaina. The Kongi Bay, two Hinji Chimbu Gone, then also Nobacheva Telatine Kongan Ansola Pechi, Ya Zik Nangres. The Induzane Yashu Chona, Chanju Sambala, Dewa Yaboji Gore, the Majonaya, Nubeki Legacy Chesne, Dewaji Zujawaina, then also Koala, Tariatis and Jogres, Kongan Anzo, the Jom Jogre, say that this is some Tangere. Mado, then there were Kayamayana, then Nazoya Tayatis, Kokap Chunchon Resungere. That and then Jidin song with the Mares, Chanchu symbol and Neba Cheva, tell it was a Tartu Mare Sumbare. Kayasana, Chanchu somebody, Yurchever Changere, telling Ansu Lega Karchevers and Nube Legacy Chevare, Nube Legacy at Megeware, Megewa say taken, they would Dungaji Tayungur Mouth and Dew Deva Koyon Series, the Indu, Chanchu symbol and Neba Chevaina. They were very mares. Yinaya, the Chanchu Samba Kuran talking money. Nuba Chinken and to the harbor the Zewa Chimbu with Jason Zingeres, the Chanchu Samba Kuran Togi, Yentendre. Or Tindu, Tini with the son of Manor Chigo, the vacation bures and a desumbre.
Now the Vajra verses 9. If one harms a bodhisattva, one will not have a connection with happiness. Usually what it stated here is that when you like have a connections with the bodhisattvas, usually in a like common understanding, people say that, or the scholars also they talk that it is good if you can have the right relationship with the bodhisattvas, that you can accumulate it and you can uplift your state of being, or the prosper yourself. But somehow, even if you couldn't do the good things or the virtues or noble things with the bodhisattvas, you should commit like a wrong actions or to at least to have a link, at least to have a relationship with the bodhisattvas through the non-virtuous acts. And what it will do, what it happens is that what will happen is that the bodhisattva will pray for you, aspire for you, since they have this kind of like a motivation, altruistic motivation. Then because of that prayers and motivation, you can also to elevate it or uplift it for the like development or the flourishment. But whereas the Jigten and what they said is like, it's better to have some connections than to not have a connection at all with the bodhisattvas. Therefore, either it's a good connection or wrong mistake connection, or the non-virtuous connection. We have to at least have the connections. This is what the concept of the usually people think that. But whereas Lord Jigten stated that it is a great mistake to commit a mistake and have a relationship with the bodhisattvas. It is not possible to have a better life by committing a mistake and doing wrong things to the bodhisattvas. The bodhisattva may have attained himself because since he is a noble person, he might have a kind of a very altruistic mind. Even if we do bad thing for him, he may pray for us. But somehow, the consequences for committing bad things to the bodhisattvas, you have to have faced that consequences. And since you are committing such mistake to the such great masters or bodhisattvas, the consequences would be grave. It's big consequences. So you have to face it. So therefore, we have to think about the committing the mistakes or the committing the non-virtuous deeds towards the bodhisattvas. So this is what the Lord Jigten says, state that. That's all.
Tene gedam mege devu sosun jong song barda doson juba dege tatanda konga den dewa dawa gewa dam mege wagi chawa nibote pasun devu tuk sigmares ju gewa la tene devu dunge ju mege wala tene ju gewa la no ju mege wala tene devu dewa tene yong sigmares tindu gewa le dewa jungre mege wale dunge jungre tindu tindegi tene gedik nibote la devu pasun lowa tene yung mares ya tere.
So for that reason, the 10th Vajra verses, the result of virtue and non-virtue arise individually. So what it means here is, for example, if you accumulate the causes of happiness, causes of happiness, and the consequences comes like a suffering. And if you accumulate the causes non-virtues, and you have happiness, these two things are absolutely different. So therefore, whatever you committed, mistakes or non-virtues, you have to face the consequences. So therefore, it is stated that the result of virtue and non-virtue arise individually. So it will not miss the consequences. It will never miss their consequences. Whatever the causes you have committed, you have to face or you have to bear the consequences. That's all.
Then they all song Jujiba take changes and jail chormes is here. That is on the Zane, Nazubenachi, Chanchusenbeg, Dombashu, Chanchusenbeg, and Yamlin Junkin, Tendechig, Mune, some town the Zane, and Samsung of the Nyamon Betone, Simchin Yankitan, La Sono, Matawa, Jendun Papa, Las what they young seed or younger, younger than Nyamon Wangi. They read in a Chanchusenbeg, Teneju Domba Sayate. Yanchi Lelao Jenapanyam Drat, the Kemares, Tichidusan and Zupenachi, Shadang Tabu Tone, Niji Simchen and Nubek, Chawanda with Zombaina, Gaptedu, Chanchuga Sim the Jendu race, Matobe, Chanchuga Sim de, Zawan Mebat in the Yonsi Mare, Tendu, Chanchuga Sim said, but Tembuchi race, Tendayinza, Nanzu Titolajin Betunjiche, Shuji Javaina, then the Chanchu Sim Tigi, Nanzu Zawan Lucy Mare, said Tesumare.
Now the 11th Vajra verses. Bodhicitta can be forgotten, but it is not possible to lose it. And what it means here is that, so sometimes when we are doing a practices of, the preserving the vows of Bodhisattva vows, but somehow because of the ignorant mind or the reflective emotion, sometimes we forgot about it. And we felt that we lost the bodhicitta, and we missed the bodhicitta. Whereas what the Lord Jesus Swami stated is that even though because of these kind of conditions, you may be forgotten for the time being, but somehow the bodhicitta, once it is arising within you, will never be lost or never be diminished. So like with the time duration, it may again arise, come into you. So therefore, this is the power and this is the quality of the bodhicitta, that once you have generated within you, then it is permanently there. So therefore, one should, the practice of bodhicitta will never be deceive you. It will always be there in the like kind of form. It's embedded there and will arise. So therefore, we should strive for practicing the generation of bodhicitta. Last one.
Last. Thank you for chatting someday.
So now today we can stop here. So we can see day after tomorrow again.
Sonam de tamche zeba ni tomne ni be dana pamje de chega nanche balong chubai seben zolen rohan rovar sho lama gongam samvara survande choda kutse remvara survande chile dharjen jebara survande lama dandarva mebra jenje loy jambe mbave jedran chemba dang gondo zambo deyang dejin Deda gunje jesu dalo je gewan deda tamje ramdo ngoy sanje gozo nyebe chenla dan chunye menjuru dembe chenla gende meche dube chenla je jedra ngoy je malan rubar shoy dadan konde tam jeje dözumdo sabah Yebe gewe sawa ye dada simjen tamje nyurdo lana mebara yantabra zo chanchu rambu je dobra juru je sheja gunze gunchin chuji je kendri nela wantu ndegum rinchen barje denba sende bara shedu tusam gombe zinjuru je Chanju Samju Rambu Je Maje Pan Je Juru Je Jeba Nyamba Mebra Yang Kone Kondu Pewa Sho Las
Everybody have a good night and a good day.
Thank you so much, KHENCHEN Rinpoche. Thank you so much, Khenpola.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to everyone in the team and the translators. I don't know where Pauline is.
Oh, I'm here. Thank you, Kanjala and Kampola. Thank you, everybody, and all the translators. Thank you, different languages. And we will see you again this Friday, the US time, 7:30 California time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.